Hello everyone, this is Ananya. Our OS topic is about comparison of Zorin OS, Ubuntu and Windows 11. Our teammates are Sadhana, Vinusha and Kausalya. These are contents. First one, abstract. This project presents a comparative analysis of three popular operating systems. The study highlights their performance, user interference, compatibility, security and usability for different types of user. Zorin OS and Ubuntu are Linux-based system known for their open source nature, stability and security, while Windows 11, developed by Microsoft, is a commercial operating system with a modern design and broad application support. The comparison aims to help users select the most suitable OS based on their needs in productivity, gaming development, or general use. Introduction. An operating system is essential software that manages computer hardware, software resource, and provides service for computer programs. In the modern computer world, users have a wide range of OS choice, each offering distinct advantages. Zorin OS focused on providing a window-like experience for new stability and community purpose. On the other hand, Windows 11, the latest version of Microsoft's, it offers an advanced graphical interface, improved gaming support, and tight integration with Microsoft Service. Next problem statement. With multiple operating systems available, users often face difficulty choosing the most efficient and user-friendly platform for their specific needs. Each OS has unique strength. Windows 11 excels in application compatibility and ease of use. Zorin OS bridges the gap between Linux and Windows environment. The problem lies in understanding which operating system provides the best balance between performance, security, and usability. Next is continued by my teammate.
In this presentation, we want to compare the two main operating system features by features. We will look at how fast they start, how much memory they use, and how strong the software supports. For example, how well they support different devices and how reliable their updates are. Most importantly, we will give suggestion for which system is better for different types of users like students, developers, gamers, creative worker, and office environment. Next, core difference. Here are the main difference. First, kernel and Lindsay. Ubuntu uses the Linux kernel and or open source, and Windows uses the NT kernel and is a closed source. Package management. Linux use package managers like apt or snap from online, and Windows uses Winget, Microsoft Store or dot extension installers. Security. Linux is designed to be secure by default. Windows usually relies more on antivirus programs like Windows Defender. Drivers. Linux may require manual setup for some Wi-Fi cards or GPU. Windows usually has different built in or provided by manufacturer. User interface looks similar to Windows. Ubuntu uses a different style and Windows use the new Fluent design. Software ecosystem. Linux is great for programming and cloud tools, and Windows is strong for business software and hardware support. Next slide. Performance. On normal mid-range laptop, Ubuntu usually use less RAM so they feel lightweight. Linux can start up faster, especially on SSDs. Simple programs open fast on Linux, but heavy programs like Arduino software often work better on Windows. For gaming, Linux can play many games using Proton, but Windows still performs better with most big games. So overall performance depends on the devices, so result may be vary. Next slide was continued by my team.
Next is advantages and disadvantages of Ubuntu. Advantages: Ubuntu has massive community, extensive documentation, and reliable LTS releases. It is highly favored for development, cloud environments, and container workloads. Compatibility across servers and WSL makes it versatile. Disadvantages: The desktop workflow may feel unfamiliar to users switching from Windows. Some specialized enterprise or creative software has limited native support. Occasionally, new laptop hardware may require time for Linux driver patches. Next is advantages and disadvantages of Windows 11. Windows offers the largest app and game library, including Adobe and commercial enterprise software. It has broadest hardware compatibility. Enterprise tools like GPO, Defender, and BitLocker are well established. Disadvantages: It typically uses more system resources, especially on lower end hardware. Windows updates, telemetry, and OEM bloatware can interrupt workflow. Licensing costs and higher malware exposure are also factors. Next is continued by my team.
Here we are showing the hands-on testing environment we use to compare Zorin OS and Windows 11. We have installed both operating system inside Oracle VirtualBox using the same hardware configuration for fairness. We have used 4.5 GB of RAM, 8 virtual CPU cores, 40 GB virtual storage. This ensures that any performance difference observed is due to operating system itself, not the hardware resources. Next is the virtual manager. This screenshot shows the virtual interface between the Windows 11 and Zorin OS virtual machines created and ready to run. This confirms a controlled and identical testing environment. Next is the Zorin OS file manager. This is the default file explorer in Zorin OS. Notice the design. It is clean, modern, similar to Mac OS or Windows, which helps user transition from Windows feel comfortable. Folders are laid out initiatively, documents, downloads, pictures, and so on. Next is the disk usage overview. This panel shows the Zorin OS system storage. Out of 41.4 GB allocated, about 10.8 GB is used. This is significantly lighter compared to Windows 11, which typically uses 20 to 30 GB right after installation. This confirms Zorin OS is more storage efficient. This is the terminal memory command. This is the terminal memory command. This command measure real RAM usage. Here we see total RAM 4.5 GB allocated, used RAM 1.4 GB, and free RAM 2.16 GB. This shows that Zorin OS uses only about 1.4 GB at idle, and Windows 11 commonly uses 2.5 to 3.2 GB at idle. This means Zorin OS is lighter and more suitable for older or mid-range laptops. Next is the system monitor resource graph. Here CPU usage is mostly between 2 to 10%, which is very idle and efficient desktop performance. Memory usage is 1.6 GB to 4.8 GB. Swap usage is 0%. Network is small, intermittent, and background activities. Disk read or write is minimal except during updates. This confirms that Zorin OS runs smoothly even in a virtual environment without unnecessary background process consuming resources. Next, we have this performance behavior of Windows 11 under the same testing conditions. Here, Windows 11 is also running inside a VirtualBox with the same resource allocation used for Zorin OS, the same processor cores, the same RAM, and the same storage capacity. This allows us to compare both systems fairly. First one here is the Task Manager. This screen shows the system resource usage for active user session. CPU usage is around 23% even when idle. Memory usage is at 71%, which equals around 6 GB of RAM used without heavy applications running. Network and disk usage remain moderate as accepted for background process. This tells us Windows 11 uses more resources in the background compared to Zorin OS. Next is the Task Manager Processor tab. Here we can see what is contributing to this resource usage. The VirtualBox virtual machine process is using about 4.9 GB of RAM because Windows 11 itself needs more memory to run smoothly. There are many background services active such as security tools, application services, and update services. Windows 11 typically runs 60 to 100 plus background processes even when idle. This explains why Windows 11 generally consumes more RAM and CPU resources compared to Linux distributions like Zorin or Ubuntu. Next is the CPU performance task or graph. This screen shows real-time CPU utilization on Windows 11. The CPU usage fluctuates between 30% to 50% even at rest. The system is running on a 12th Gen Intel Core i5 processor with 12 logical cores, which is a powerful modern CPU. Despite the strength of processor, Windows still has a noticeable background workload. This indicates that Windows is optimized for performance when more resources are available, not necessarily for lower powered machines. Thank you.
In conclusion, there is no single best operating system for everyone. For students and general users, the Zorin OS is best OS, and for developers and IT professionals, Ubuntu is the best OS, and for professional creators, gamers, the Windows 11 is best OS. The key is to choose the best operating system is that aligns with your workload, hardware compatibility, and software needs. Thank you.